Blah, blah, blah. Episode 5, let's go. If you haven't seen this series before, check out my playlist in one of these corners. I forgot if I mirrored the video. Let's get started. This video will involve me showing you a really cool F2L alg, me breaking down a rather clever solve in which I use this algorithm, and then videos of 2 more solves that also use this algorithm pretty effectively. So let's get on to the solves. Boop. So this algorithm actually is pretty simple. It's for an F2L pair insert in the back. Normally, it's just this pair into this pair. And if you get it from this angle, you could either rotate and insert regularly. You could rotate and do EO. But if you have it at this angle, you can do this algorithm here. So it starts at regular home grip, and it starts with a little R prime, U prime, R, U, and then I usually do M moves with my right hand, so then I just do the M prime with my right hand. But obviously, if you're a lefty for M moves, just do that. So again, slowly, I think of it as pulling this pair out, pairing it up, putting it in, and then fixing this edge piece. Again, quickly. So that's the algorithm. And now I'm going to walk you through a solve in which I use this algorithm. Normally, I don't do this for algorithms. I'll just sort of show you the solves that have it. But this solve was super clever in my opinion. I didn't realize how clever it was until I actually reconstructed the solve. And also, this cube is the GAN 356 Air M. I recently made a review on it. Check it out here. And anyway, let's get on to the solve. So the scramble is here. And inspection, I actually noticed quite a lot. And I'll try and walk you through everything before I do any moves. And if it doesn't make any sense, we'll just walk through and you'll slowly be able to see hopefully what I was doing. So for this one, first I noticed this block of 3 here, and my cross pieces are this. So what I did was I solved cross plus 1, and this is going to be my first pair, and then my second pair is going to be here, and you'll see what happens in a second. So I start with a U prime D, so that now you'll notice if I do an R prime, the red white piece will go into place, which lends these two to go together, which you'll note solves this corner between these two edges. But since I knew this edge piece was going to end up here in inspection, I can insert it in the back before fixing, which solves it. I think I did it the wrong way, but here. And that's my plus 1, and I haven't done the cross yet. At this point, these are the 2 other pieces I was tracking, and you'll note if I do a U2 prime, and then instead of just doing R2, I do R prime, U, R prime, which solves the pair here. Again, instead of doing R2 prime, you'll note that if I do R prime, U, R prime, it'll pair up this pair. And since I'm at this angle, where this piece is solved here, in general, I try to solve pieces into the back, so instead of rotating like this, I do a U prime and the algorithm I showed earlier. So little R prime, U prime, R, U, M prime. From here, it's pretty straightforward. The only thing I do that's kind of fancy is canceling into one of my F2L pairs, which you'll see in a second. The pair I'm going to do now is here, and it's pretty standard. I set the pieces up, I do a rotation, I do a U, and I insert in the back. And the other kind of clever thing I do, it's a small thing, but instead of doing this, I know that my next pair is going to end up here, and since these two are green together, I know the algorithm that I need to do to solve it, and since I know that, I can cancel in to the beginning of that algorithm instead of stopping, because otherwise it would kind of be R, pause, R, whereas I can do R2 and then solve this pair as normal. And then once I get this OLL, I know that I'll end up with a corner solve because these are the same and these are opposite. So it's just F double sexy, F prime. And then I use M and R U primes quite regularly actually, and probably with the same frequency. So for here, I just do a U prime and solve the U perm from here. And end with a U prime for AUF. So that's that solve. I thought it was really clever. The 2 things that were clever in that solve were the cross, where I did cross plus 1, or I guess X cross it's called, and I preserved the second pair in inspection. Well, not in inspection, obviously, after I executed the moves that I saw in inspection, and then canceling moves between F2L pairs. So that was one super clever solve that used this algorithm. The other 2 were rather simple, so I won't walk through them, but I will show you them with the algorithm in question slowed down a bit. So yeah, hope you enjoy this algorithm and hope you implement it in your solves. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to like me on Facebook, follow me on Instagram, and subscribe for the latest content.